Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to my show. I am Danny Carter Iddens, and I'm hopping on tonight at a new time, tonight at 8 instead of at 7, so that I can drop some health and wellness knowledge with you at a better time. I got people telling me that they liked 8 o'clock better because I had to get kiddos in bed and 8 o'clock was a good time. So just do me a favor, as you were jumping on, go ahead and comment, say hi, introduce yourself if I don't know you personally. And yeah, I'm going to get started. I just have one note. I do want to say that the topic I'm talking about tonight is really good. The other thing about it, though, is that it's got a lot. It's like jam packed. And so I do have all the information that I'm giving you today typed up so that you can read it at your leisure. I will give you more information about how to get a hold of that at the end. But I like to try to keep these at around 15, 16 minutes so that you're not on here all night. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So the topic tonight is how to eat more but weigh less. One of the biggest things that I do is I help people understand that restrictive diets don't work. They may work for a short period of time, but at the end of the day, in more cases than not, you can't keep up the restrictive eating. It's just too hard. Your calorie intake might not be enough. And there's a lot of reasons. Like for me, I work out every day, so I can't eat below a certain amount of calories, because what ends up happening is if I don't eat enough calories, I actually can gain weight because my metabolism will slow down in order to kind of conserve the energy, because I'm working out and I'm kind of burning all those calories. So it's kind of a myth that if we lick a lettuce leaf twice a week, we're going to lose weight. That's not always what happens, and I'm sure some of you can attest to that. Now, what does happen though is we can eat more food as long as it's the right food and actually weigh less, come out kind of on the good side. This is something that I've been looking into, and I really, really like it. I kind of was doing it on accident. I didn't really know it, but then I looked at the science behind it, and it does make a lot of sense. There are foods that are called low energy density foods, and that's not necessarily just low calorie. So I want you to think about this. This is then low calorie. Low calorie candy can be low calorie. Hi, Ma. Candy can be low calorie. So I want you to think about, I want you to kind of get out of the low calorie mindset and think about low energy density. And those are the kind of foods that you're looking for. The way the energy density of food is determined is by looking at three factors. You look at how much water is in the food, how much fiber it has, and how much fat it has. And you guessed it, the more water, the lower the energy density, the more fat, the higher the energy density. And you want to look for foods that have lower energy density. I have a pyramid. It's called the Healthy Weight Pyramid, and it's from Mayo Clinic, and this is a really good resource to show you how much food of each kind of food density group you should be eating. Obviously, you're not going to be surprised. The beginning of it is vegetables. Vegetables are usually low calorie but high volume. So that means that they have a low energy density. So that means you can essentially eat vegetables all day, and there's no negative, impact, weight gain. What's really good about vegetables is that if they're cooked right, they can actually take the place of meat. We have really been exploring this, cooking vegetables the right way so that they taste delicious. I think one of the reasons people don't eat vegetables is because they don't make them taste good. And I mean, my husband, man, when I make broccoli, he like can get down on my broccoli. So like there is a way to cook food that is delicious and is also nutritious. I feel like that's something from like my childhood, delicious and nutritious. So that's what you want to try to do. The good thing about vegetables is that you can eat those all day throughout the day. Raw, you can saute them, throw them in, a casserole, whatever you want to do. The next food density group is fruit. And actually, fruits and vegetables are pretty close. If you have to put them, if you had to rank them, then you're going to go with vegetables as being the lowest density, and then fruit is next. But when you look at the pyramid, they're on the same level. The thing about fruit is that most fruits are great, but you want to make sure that you're watching your calorie intake, because some fruits do actually have a higher calorie amount. Now, that may be good if you are a person who works out a lot or who burns a lot of calories throughout the day. That might be good. You might actually need that. And you always, if you're trying to avoid sugar, you always want to do fruit sugars. If you're going to do a sugar, do a fruit sugar. That's a better sugar than white sugar or anything refined like that. The good thing about fruit is that it can be eaten fresh. It can be eaten frozen. You keep it in the freezer. I know a lot of people say, I don't want to buy fruit because it's just going to go bad. It's going to sit on my counter and go bad. Okay, buy it frozen. Pull it out when you need it. Use it to make smoothies. Use it to make, we throw, you know what I do? One of my favorite things, I take low-fat yogurt and I sprinkle some frozen blueberries in that yogurt. Girl, it is so good. And then you get a little bit of granola, put it on there, get that little crisp. It is so good. I honestly think it's better than ice cream, just because that the frozen blueberry just really, I don't know, kicks it up a notch. You can even have canned fruit. So I don't know, maybe you don't have a freezer. I don't know. Get some canned fruit. Just make sure you don't get the canned fruit in syrup. You want to get it in water, because that syrup is sugar. Sorry, love you, but it's sugar, and it's not even like maple syrup. It's just like straight up syrup. Oh, hey, Julia. Thank you for the heart. So some good fruits to eat that you can pretty much eat all day. Blueberries, like I said, mangoes, peaches, apples, mandarin oranges, pears, grapes. So those are awesome foods. And you know what too? Those are good fruits because they are easy to store, and you can also leave them out on the counter and they don't get because I'm a fruit, I freak out about the fruit flies, but you can leave these fruits out on the counter and they don't get fruit flies. That's really good. So yeah, these have low energy density and they fill you up throughout the day. So up next is carbohydrates. Now carbs, you're thinking, we can't have carbs. Carbs are the worst. They're actually not. Carbs can be good if you are eating the right carbs. So you want to look for whole grains. Whole grains. Say it with me, friends. Whole grains. So if you look at a loaf of bread and the first ingredient is not a whole grain, do me a favor, put it back on the shelf, maybe push it under and hide it, and pull some whole wheat bread out. And even be careful if it says whole wheat, because even if it says whole wheat, read your labels. Make sure it's got whole grains. That should be the first ingredient. If it's not the first ingredient, put that right back and just don't even with it. Don't engage. You want to choose breads. If you're doing a carb, you want to do whole wheat bread, oatmeal, brown rice, white rice. It's there, but if you can, it's there. But if you can, do brown rice. Brown rice has so many more nutrients for you. Whole grain cereals. Guys, I know that we like our cereals, and I'm the first girl. You get me some Lucky Charms, and you got yourself a happy girl. But that cereal is okay. Get yourself some whole grain cereal, and it'll just be better for you, and you'll feel fuller throughout the day. You can eat this in the morning and you literally feel full all day. And another thing you can do, and this is something that we have started doing, and it's like we bought it and then we just like put it in the cabinet, and I'm like, why aren't we using it? And Jim was like, oh yeah, we do have it. Is using whole wheat flour instead of white flour. That's a simple change. You probably won't even notice a difference in the way the food tastes, but just use whole wheat flour. Literally. White flour, those are, it's bleached, and when they bleach it, not only does it take away its color, but it also strips it of its nutrients. Up next in the pyramid is protein and dairy, and those can be derived from plants or from animals, and they range from low to high density. So now, at this point in the pyramid, you're going to have to kind of eat less of these foods. So if you're noticing anything on the bottom, go to town. Next level, pretty good, but make sure you're at moderation. Now we're on the third level. This is like, okay, you can still do a pretty good amount of them, but you want to make sure you're doing the right things. So if you need protein, again, if you are a person who works out, or heck, if you don't work out, you want to shoot for beans, peas, lentils. All of these foods are low energy, dense foods. They have low calories, but they're high in protein. So you can eat them and you feel full for a long time. And that's the key. You can also eat fish for protein, white meat, poultry. So that's the breast meat. Dark meat is delicious, but it also has a lot of fat. Darn. And you can do egg whites. What? That didn't come out right. Egg whites. There we go. But make sure you skip the yolk. Yolks are good, but I mean, they're good. But if you're trying to have a low density food, you got to take the yolk out. Sorry. And like I said, just watch with those proteins, watch your portion size. For dairy, fat-free dairy is key. I know a lot of people are like, they hate, like, I feel like you're either in one or two camps. You like either hate skim milk, or you can't drink anything but skim milk because you think even 1% is like drinking like honey. I don't know. People just, I feel like they're in different camps. So I don't know why. I'm a skim milk person. I actually like skim milk. And now that I can drink it again, I prefer skim milk, but there's some people that are just basically like, skim milk is water, it's gross, yuck. So it's really up to you. If you can't do dairy, get a dairy alternative. They've got soy milk, rice milk, coconut milk, almond milk. All of those are enriched. They're usually vitamin fortified and enriched. Just watch sugar. You have to be careful with the dairy alternatives. A lot of times, to make them taste good, they will add sugar, especially like, if you do like a vanilla or a chocolate flavor, watch the sugar. I know almond milk has a vanilla flavor that is unsweetened, so you still get that essence of vanilla, but it's unsweetened, which is really nice for cooking if you want to pour that in instead. But just be careful, make sure you have an almond milk option that is just regular without the vanilla, because if you're not careful, then your mashed potatoes might taste like vanilla. And I'm not saying that I'm speaking from experience, but I'm speaking from experience. Watch the sugar content. Moral of that story. All right, next up in the pyramid is fats. And fats are They are high energy dense foods. So that means that you got to have less of them. What are you saying, Mom? I drink the vanilla unsweetened almond milk. I don't cook. Yeah, we made that mistake. We made mashed potatoes and we ran out of rice milk. So we put vanilla unsweetened almond milk, and we had mashed potatoes with vanilla essence. It's not good. It's just not good. So with fats, you want to make sure that you're watching your portions. But the good news is there are fats that are healthier than others. You want to look for mono unsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. Carolyn, what are you saying? We accidentally made mac and cheese. Yeah, right. It's like, whoops. And it's just not. It's vanilla almond milk is delicious, but there are just some things that should not taste like vanilla. Mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, those are all of those things. So yes, I totally understand. It was a colossal mess up. Yeah, it was yuck. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So when you're looking for monounsaturated fats or polyunsaturated fats, you want to look for nuts, for seeds, and you want to use oils like olive oil, flaxseed, and safflower. Those are really good oils. They add flavor, but not not the bad fat, the good fat. Avocados, if you want some good filling fat, avocados. Yeah. Oh, can Jim tolerate the almond milk? Yes, he can. He can tolerate almond milk because of our probiotic. Now that he's been taking that probiotic for about a year now, he actually can tolerate the almond milk now. He can tolerate almond milk. He can tolerate peanuts. Like, we don't go too crazy with that, but there's a lot more foods that he can actually tolerate as long as we got our probiotic on hand. That's a good question. Yeah, because he can actually have it now. We do still keep soy milk and rice milk on hand just for him to be on the safe side. Finally, we have sweets. And sweets are high energy dense foods. You probably knew that. But you can still have them. Yay! So we don't have to get rid of sweets. And listen, like I said at the beginning of this, I am not a dieter. I tried to diet and I was sad, and it's just I just really like food. Yeah, Joey, avocado. It's just I have to eat. I love to eat. God made wonderful food, put wonderful food on this earth, so I'm going to eat it. But I eat it in moderation, and that's kind of my key. And then I exercise because I like the food, So that's kind of how I balance it out. When you do sweets, you want to look for low added fats. Like I said, be careful, and you want to look for low sugar. I know it's sweets, but you can do sweets that are low sugar, like dairy-free yogurt, or you can do what I talked about earlier. Take the yogurt with some fresh fruit, put that together. That's really good. It's sweet. It gives you that sweet, but it's not kind of going over the top. Find something with whole grains. You want to basically find sweets with whole grains, with fruit, so you're getting the sweet, but you're putting in something healthy to go with it. My family, we are all texting each other. Okay, I'm sorry about that. And then of course you can do like low fat ice cream. Just don't. Really, it's moderation. Don't eat all the ice cream and then be like, oh man, it was said it was low fat. I ate the whole gallon. No, that's not how it works. Okay. You can have ice cream, some low fat ice cream. And I'll tell you what, the Breyers half the fat, tastes good. It's not bad. Don't see that and be like, ugh. And what's nice about Breyers is all the ingredients in Breyers, you know what they are. Like, they're readable. Like, it says like milk, sugar, cream, like what they are. So just watch your serving sizes on that. And of course you can have dark chocolate, just again in moderation. So what's the moral of the story, friends? Moderation. Okay, so make sure that you're doing these things in moderation. You want to keep your serving sizes small, and you want to incorporate healthy ingredients. And just remember, one of the biggest things, if you don't take anything out of this, if you're like, Danny's crazy, I do what I want, make sure that you choose natural over processed. So if you just gotta have brownies, make them yourself. So you know what ingredients are going in them. If you just gotta have a cookie, number 1, use whole wheat flour. Number 2, make them yourself. So really try to get out of the habit of buying these things from the store, because you don't know what's in them. If you make it yourself, you know what's in them, and you can control it. You can switch out. If it says sugar, there are some amazing apps or websites that you can go on that will tell you how to switch out. If it calls for this much sugar, you can switch it out with this much agave nectar. There are apps that will help you with that. I can actually look and see later and like kind of switch and kind of maybe make a comment in here to help you with that. So like I said, this is a lot of information and so much that I have it, but like written out for me to see. So if you want a copy of this, I have it. And I send it to you like, I can send it to you. Just comment and let me know. And I can go ahead and get the link to you for that. Because it is a lot of information. There's actually more information in here that I didn't even mention because I didn't want this to go too long because it's already gone longer than I thought it would. But I wanted to tell you all this good stuff. So like I said, eat, but just watch what you're eating. That's really the important thing. So yeah, comment if you'd like a copy of this. It does include also the healthy weight pyramid that's in here also. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. My son's 5th birthday is Friday. So I have like an almost 5-year-old and I don't even understand how. I don't understand why. Well, I get why, but I just don't understand how my baby can be 5 years old. So we are just in the midst of celebration and we're just going to be having just some good times this week. So I hope this weekend, I hope you also have a great time. I hope you have a great week and I hope you enjoy exploring eating more, but you know, maybe knocking off a few pounds. So all right, have a wonderful night, have a wonderful evening, and I will talk at you later. Bye.